Today, we're going to learn about fire safety. What is safety? Measures. These are measures taken to protect or to prevent one from harm or injury. So we are going to learn about fire safety. We have fire safety include everything. It's include everything. Fire safety include everything relating to the prevention. Anything that's related to the prevention, anything that relates to the prevention, detection, and extinguishing of fire, and cover both the safeguarding of human life and the preservation of property. So when fire comes, most of the time it burns properties, cause death, rules of life. So let's see how we can be equipping ourselves concerning fire. Agent that burns, the agent help in burning. We have fuel. Fuel is a reducing agent. We have heat. So for fire to be, for there to be fire, there are three essential factors for fire, that is oxygen, fuel, heat. Class D fires involve exotic metals such as magnesium, sodium, titanium, potassium, and other reactive metals. So those are the class D. And let us check on the other class. There is prevention of fire. Prevention is better than cure, so it's always good. Make sure avoid fire altogether. These are method of prevention. You maintain good housekeeping. Inflammable liquids, vapors should be moved by local exhaust ventilation to dilute concentration. Add machines. We have add machines which can generate static electrical charges. Electrical wires should be well insulated. Electrical machines must use proper plugs and sockets. Secure storage of flammable substances. Zoning of areas that have flammable materials. Zoning of zoning of areas that have flammable materials, restricting entry into flammable substance storage areas, establish safe entry procedure to fire risk zone, identify location for major hazard installations, regular inspection to ensure safe condition and safe action of person on site. Utilize smoking signs. Utilize no smoking signs. So this we are doing well. We are still looking on fire. So we have fire extinguishers. We have types of fire extinguishers. The new standard color for all fire extinguishers is red, which could lead to confusion and injuries if care is not taken when an extinguisher is being used. The content of each extinguisher is indicated by a contrasting color band on the cylinder. The color of the contrasting panel will be the same as the color on the old extinguisher. This is the color extinguisher. We have water foam powder. You can see them. So as we continue, we have fire extinguisher color. We have fire extinguishers color code is all over. In automotive engineering we have, or in engineering we have color codes. They help you to identify, to be able to follow the map or be able to work without getting mixed up. So we have fire extinguisher color codes. We have types: water, foam, dry powder, carbon dioxide. We have color panel used on. So we have water is red. Color type of, we have water. Color panel is red. Used on class A fires. We have foam cream for classes B fires. We have dry powder blue for class A, B, and D. Carbon dioxide, black for class A, for class B and C fires. For class A, for class B and C fires. I repeat, we have fire extinguishers color code, we have type, we have color panel, we have used on, water, red, used on classes A fires, foam, cream, for class B fires, dry powder, blue, for class A, B, and D. And we have carbon dioxide, that is black, its color panel is black, for class B and C. NB, or notes on extinguishers, note on extinguishers. Fire extinguishers should never be used notes extinguishers. On extinguishers, you should put this down on extinguishers. Fire extinguishers should never be used on classes of fire for which they are not rated. Don't use fire extinguisher in a rated class to a different rated class. So in some cases, e.g. water used on class D fire, the extinguisher can actually make the fire worse. Never use water on class C fires. Shock hazard. How to use fire extinguishers? To remember how to use fire extinguishers, think of putting out the fire as a test you must pass. Make it a must-pass test. You have to make it a must-pass test. P, we have the word P, A, S, S, that is pass. We have pass, the word pass. So the first P, or the word P, the P stands for pull the locking pin. A, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. C, squeeze the trigger all the way closed. We have S, sweep the extinguisher discharge side to side over the area of the fire. I will repeat, to use a fire extinguisher, remember how to use a fire extinguisher. Think of putting out the fire as a test you must pass. Pull the locking pin. A, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire. S, squeeze the trigger all the way closed. S, the last S is sweep the extinguisher discharge side to side over the area of the fire. Over the area of the fire. So you should note that. You should always note that, so that you'll be able to utilize the fire extinguisher as an exam you must pass. Fire extinguisher Let's now see pass in action. We have pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. I repeat, fire extinguisher, pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. Signs, posters, and training. Signs should be provided to identify courses of action to be taken, means of escape and location of fire fighting equipment. Training should be given in the use of system and equipment provided, and to minimize undesirable or apparently illogical behavior. Sign, posters, and training. Signs should be provided to identify courses of action to be taken between all to be taken, means of escape and location of fire fighting equipment. Training should be given in the use of system and equipment provided, and to minimize undesirable or apparently illogical behavior. Means of escape in case of fire. The purpose of means of escape is to enable people confronted by fire to proceed in the opposite direction to an exit of a way of exit or away from the fire through a final exit to an open place away from the building. Any means of escape must not rely on rescue facilities from the fire services. Means of escape in building other than those with only a ground floor generally consist of three distinct areas. These are any points on a ladder to a staircase, any point on a floor to a staircase, the route down a staircase, the route from the foot of the staircase to the open air, clear of the building. Essentially, there are two physical areas associated with means of escape. The area which people escape from a fire are at some risk, the unprotected zone. Which are these unprotected zones? They are in which people escaping from a fire are at some risk. They are protected zone. Like on the window, especially in the maybe the zone that are protected. Maybe the window is having grills, the doors are having grills, so or there are some barriers, so it's always good. So we have to consider that. So the area in which people the area in which people escaping from a fire are at some risk. The unprotected zone, areas where risk is reduced to an acceptable minimum. protected zone. We call them protected zone. So we can hear the difference of unprotected and protected zone. The area in which people escape, from a fire are at some risk. That is, if the area where people are supposed to escape is in risk, that is unprotected zone. Protected zone are areas where risk is reduced to an acceptable minimum. Protected zone at an exit must be fully protected using walls or partitions which have a fire resisting capability. Emergency escape. Writing may be needed in areas without daylight or which are used at night. It should indicate the escape route clearly. Provide illumination along escape routes. Should put illumination such as in airports and even our working areas, even our homes. We should have fire points. So let's here ensure that the fire alarm, call points, and firefighting equipment can be located. There are some fire points that are set to put fighting equipment. So make sure you put them well and a place where they are accessible easily. Fire exit within the workplace. Fire exits on the internal walls of a building. So that's our diagram. I will show you maybe later. Action on discovery of a fire. By person discovering the fire, shout fire, 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 and run to the scene as quickly as possible with a suitable extinguisher and attempt to extinguish the fire. As soon as help arrives, send a person to the nearest telephone to dial 999 and say where the fire is. And say where the fire is. If fire alarm bell is fitted, this should be actuated. On hearing the alarm bell, on all personnel except the firefighting team should vacate the building in an orderly manner via the nearest exit. On arrival of the fire brigade, the officer in charge should be informed of the location of the fire, and if all persons are clear of the building, you should make sure that we gather in the fire points so that we get to know who is not there or who is missing. Who is missing. When alarm bell sound is affected areas, only when the alarm bell is affected areas, all personnel except firefighting teams should immediately vacate the areas in an orderly manner via the exit not affected by fire. The entire building should be evacuated on hearing bells sounding in all areas of the building. Leaving as soon as you hear the alarm, or leaving as soon as you are instructed to leave. In the absence of any alarm, occupant to evacuate immediately if the situation is deteriorating. Restrict spread of fire and smoke by closing doors and windows behind you. Warn others as you leave without relying on their having heard the alarm. And B, do not, these are things that you should not do. Re-enter the building. Once you are out, do not return to your room for variables. Leave them, you'll get others. You can get others, but you cannot get other life. You cannot. In life, you cannot get another life. So if you leave your document, you can go back to the government and you have an abstract from police, and then you'll be getting your new document. But when you lose your life, you are done. So re-enter the building. Once you are out, do not return to your room for variables. Run or jump out through windows. Lag behind breaking up columns. Scream if you can. Scream, laugh, or talk loudly, or make unnecessary noise as you may cause confusion. So you should not scream, you should not laugh, or talk loudly, or make unnecessary noise as you may cause confusion. Remain in lavatories. Attempt to use elevators or lift. You should not dare. The only exception will be handicapped persons for whom special arrangements are made. Attempt to leave the building except in accordance with exit drill procedure. Fail to carry out instruction as doing that would endanger your own life. If trapped by smoke or fire, what are you supposed to do? Fill walls by using the back of your hand. If hot, leave it crossed. If hot, leave it crossed. Use an alternative route, keeping as many doors as possible between you and the fire crossed to contain it, which could fail to carry out instruction. Doing that would endanger your own life. So attempt to leave the building except in accordance with the exit drill procedure. If trapped by smoke or fire, what are you supposed to do? Fill doors by using the back of your hand. If hot, leave it crossed. Use an alternative route. Keeping as many doors as possible between you and the fire crossed to contain it, which could help save your life. Prevent smoke from seeping into the room by blocking the opening with a cloth, rag, or blanket, preferably moistened. However, if caught in smoke, hold a handkerchief, preferably moistened. Cover your nose and mouth, and crawl along the floor where the air will be cleaner and cooler. Smoke can be blinding, so feel your way along the wall with the back of your hand until you locate a door. If upstairs, try to get to a window both for fresh air and to signal for help. Shout and wave a cloth or item of clothing or a torch to attract. Yeah, these are the procedures that one should follow, and they'll be of impact to our life and our safety. Do not jump. Do not dare to jump, ever. Do not jump from upper floor windows or balconies, or even from a single story. Many people have been killed by panic jumping, often when rescue was just minutes away. So you should not jump, you should not panic, communicate. Most important of all, if you are trapped, keep calm, keep cool, so that you can think logically and help to plan your escape. Personal responsibilities. We have personal responsibilities. Never, it says never light a fire if any of the following apply. 1. Do not have the proper extinguisher or equipment. 2. Fire has spread beyond its point of origin. 3. Your instinct tells you get out. Your instinct tells you get out. What is the response when your instinct tells you get out? You say you lose some properties, you lose some money. No, the most important thing is life. Personal responsibilities. Never fight fire if any of the following apply. Do not have the proper extinguisher or equipment. Fire has spread beyond its point or of origin. Your instincts tell you get out. Do as it tells you. Emergency procedures. In the event of fire, pull nearest alarm station. Immediately exit the building. If you hear an alarm, do not assume it is a drill. Your life may depend on it. Fire exit routes. We have fireproof escape corridors and stairs cases incapable of obstruction by smoke. Fire doors in all workshops should be either sliding or opening outwards. And people, they don't do that. But that is the standard way of having safety. We have escape routes should be clearly marked. Building use as workplace should have an fire exit opposite to the door in ordinary use. Fire exit should not be obstructed at any time. Fire exit should not be obstructed at any time. Firefighting equipment must also be provided. Fire exit should not be obstructed at any time. It's not right to obstruct fire fighting. Fireproof escape corridors and staircases incapable of obstruction by smoke. Fire doors in all workplaces should be either sliding or opening outward. Escape routes should be clearly marked. Building used as workplace should have an fire exit opposite to the door in ordinary use. Fire exit should not be obstructed at any times. Firefighting equipment must also be provided in all work premises. Ensure that there are sufficient fire extinguishers of the appropriate type for your workplace, suitably located to deal with any small outbreaks of fire. Provide fire blanket at locations such as kitchen. Firefighting equipment must be regularly inspected and checked. This is usually carried out by do not jump from upper floor, windows or balconies, or even from a single story. Many people have been killed by panic jumping often when rescue was just minutes away. Most important of all, if you are trapped, keep calm so that you can think logically and help to plan your escape. Personal responsibility, not that, personal responsibility. Never fight a fire if any of the following apply. Never fight a fire if any of the following applies. Don't have the proper extinguisher or equipment. Fire has spread beyond its point of origin. Your instincts tell you get out. Do that. If your instinct tells you get out, get out. Emergency procedures. In the emergency procedures, in the event of fire, pull nearest alarm station. Immediately exit the building. If you hear an alarm, do not assume. it is a drill. Do not assume it is a drill. Your life may depend on it. Your life may depend on it. So do not assume. Don't. If you hear an alarm, I repeat, do not assume it is a drill. Usijaribu, usifikirie, don't think that they are trying whether the alarm is functioning. No. Be courteous, be curious, be questionable. Life is once, so you lose it, you are done. So don't assume. Your life may depend on it. You may depend on it. We have fire exit routes. Fire exit routes. There are very many, but you should know which fire exit are you going to take, because you might take a dead route while there is a way out. So, fireproof escape corridors and stairs, case incapable of obstruction by smoke. Fire doors in all workplaces should be either sliding or opening outward. So this one we had checked on it. So, but let's continue because we had checked on it. Let's finish. Fire doors in all workplaces should be either sliding or opening outward. Building used as workplace should have an fire exit. Opposite to the door in ordinary use. Fire exit should not be obstructed at any time given. Firefighting equipment must also be provided in all work premises. Ensure that there are sufficient fire extinguishers of the appropriate type for your workplace, suitably located to deal with any small outbreak of fire. Provide fire blanket at locations such as kitchen. Provided in all work premises. Ensure that there are sufficient fire extinguishers of the appropriate type for your workplace, suitable located to deal with any all outbreaks of fire. Provided fire blankets at locations such as kitchen. Firefighting equipment must be regularly inspected and checked. This is usually carried out by the contracted suppliers. It is important that staff who might be expected to use fire equipment have had some training in its use or its way of application of using it and are aware of its location. For today, that is for today. We will keep learning more. Fire safety training. This is safety measures. This is our day in, day out. Things that we are supposed to be learning about. We are supposed to understand. For life is all about So this is you can see how to aim fire. You can see how to aim fire with the fire extinguisher, where you aim at the point where fire is coming from. You can see the rock, the fire from firewood. Firewood. You can see the fire triangles. We have oxygen, we have heat, we have fuel. I hope you see. Then we have fire extinguishers color codes, but we have you can see the fire extinguishers. Here are the fire extinguishers. We have water, foam, and powder, and carbon dioxide. We have carbon dioxide, we have powder, we have foam, we have water. So let's see the apparatus. The apparatus are, as you can see, that is, we have color panel, that is types water, foam, dry powder. We have carbon dioxide. We have color panel. We have red. We have cream. We have blue. We have black. Then how they are used. You can see used on class A fire, for class B fire, for class A, B, and D, that is blue, that is dry powder, that is class B and class C fire. So we learned about pass. Ensure that the fire, you see the photo of fire exits within the workplace. Fire exits the workplace. Fire exits on the external walls of the building. So I think I don't know, my phone is not able to change, but I will, I hope for today that one is taken, and